shoot the shit. We just do this podcast style, right? We're rolling.
Look what the cat dragged in. Ben, where have you been?
I've been
Wait, can you hear me right now?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
I've been logged into Path of Exile.
So speaking of that, we had the camera's over here. We had a Legacy of the North and ETB partnership 5K about 2 weeks ago now, I think it is. Yeah, I want to say about 2 weeks.
A little bit over 2 weeks. It was March 29th.
March 29th, yeah.
So right before the ban list.
Right before the ban.
Yeah.
So 107 players, not mistaken. Great time. Again, great players, great community. Everyone showed up. It was at the ETB Oakville location this time.
Yeah. First time that we've done a production there.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, did we have
a fun time doing it.
It was fun enough to bring me back here.
We have gotten him back. So yeah, recent bans. That's all down the drain now with all the great cards that were being played that day, like Troll of Khazad-dûm, which I can't believe they actually banned that. That is just that made really no sense. It kind of proves a point that they won't ban old cards, such as Entomb or Reanimate or anything like that, which is kind of funky.
Yeah, okay, so let's kind of like set up like a little bit of an agenda. We'll talk about, first we'll talk about the 5K and like Legacy of the North and Enter the Battlefield a bit, and then can kind of answer why there hasn't been a lot of videos on the channel.
Fair, okay.
And then we can get more into the Magic specific.
Okay, I'll backtrack. I'll backtrack.
We'll go broader into the more narrow scope.
So, Legacy of the North, ETB. What else is going on with them at this point? What do we got?
So we have an invitational that's coming up. So the current season 6 has just ended. That was January to March. So April is the off month. So people are now prepping for the invitational that is happening on the 26th. That is also going to be streamed. And if you guys watched the Oakville stream for the 5K, this one should be running a lot smoother. So the one upcoming in April, we're used to all the equipment in New Market. We know how everything works. We know we're familiar with it, right? We're familiar with the location. There's a lot less things to worry about. So we won't be starting in round 2. We'll be starting in round 1.
Well, that was because we were, again, there was some technical things and timing and people wanted to get the round started. So we just kind of went with the flow.
There was some administrative issues, like the judge not sending a feature match to the feature match area.
Sure, that
the first time I don't fully blame the judge. It was like a miscommunication. It was the first time he was judging an event where there was like a feature match and he was the head judge. So when I approached him, I just didn't explain to him well enough to immediately send a table. I said, before round 1 starts, you can send a table. And then he started round 1 and never sent the table. But I'm assuming it's because he also had a lot on his mind. So
of course.
Not going to blame him for that one.
107 players, yeah.
Unfortunately, fortunately, it gave us time to fix some more technical issues that we were experiencing.
Yeah.
Because we were experiencing a lot of them. And I think if you watched from beginning to end, you'll notice things progressively get added.
Get better, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we started off with a green screen with the commentators.
Which you can't see back here. But
eventually, it evolved into an actual background.
Oh, it was beautiful. We had like black on the table. It was like, oh my goodness.
There was a lot of green screening, I'd say.
Yeah, it was great.
Fortunately, we had the right shades of green.
Yes, and I happen to wear a green jacket, which again, I forgot. Green screen, green jacket, but it actually worked out not bad. A couple red bits here and there, but nonetheless. Invitational, April 26th, streamed, ETB New Market. What was I going to say? Who is the current points leader? Are we going into that? Do you want to?
Yeah, we can talk about that for a bit.
Okay, so I don't have it fully pulled up, but top of my head, we have Conrad at number 1 because he's a maniac and he just grinds, as he says, the daily grinder, right? And I think somewhere in there we have Josh and I believe Justin Glanzer somewhere up there. But nonetheless, Conrad was the season 5 invitational winner.
Yes.
Sorry, King of the North, rather, winner.
Royalty. We'll call
Royalty
him
North. Sorry,
of
Royalty of the North. Royalty of the North.
Yeah,
And
so if we want to do a quick recap, because we've been doing this for a while now, and I think we've captured everything except for the latest one, which was Conrad's.
Conrad versus Adam, yes.
Adam Robinson.
Correct.
Yes. So I think the first invitational was, sorry, not the first invitational, but the first Royalty of the North match was Boston versus
Jesse?
And Jesse was the first official winner.
Yeah, I'm not mistaken. Yeah, pretty sure. Because then after that...
Yeah, okay, sorry. So I think if you want to count it, because we didn't really have video production for Legacy of the North for the first season. I think season 1 was touted as like the practice run, but we do always want to give honors to Daniel Verdesoto. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I should ask him one day. Yeah, he was the very first winner, but that was before we had Royalty of the North matches. It was just he was the one who accumulated the most points. Then second, it was Jesse, I believe. I thought it was Boston and then Jesse, but it could be Daniel, Jesse, and then Boston. Or is it?
Man.
Because I'm pretty sure Boston has won 3 times.
Yes, definitely, yes. Because if we look at the trophy in the video...
His name is on it.
His names are a lot.
So, if I recall correctly, it was Daniel first, then Boston. But I don't remember...
Jesse
I think
after?
Jesse won
Yeah.
after Boston.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember who Boston played against that first time around.
It wasn't Dom, because Dom was season 4.
Yeah, Dom was season 4.
Yeah, so...
And then season 5 was Conrad.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, no, we played Jamie as well, too. Boston played Jamie.
Boston versus Jamie, and then
Conrad.
Conrad versus Adam.
Correct.
Okay, that's the one that I was forgetting.
Yes.
So
That was the third time that Boston played.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Daniel first.
Yep. Boston, most likely.
Boston.
Yep.
Jesse. Boston.
No, that's 4 Bostons.
Boston, Conrad.
There you go. We did it.
So we have 6 winners.
Should be 6 right now. Yes. 5 official, like as in like, you know, with
5
the new
Royalty of the North.
Correct.
And then so it was King, Queen, King.
Yep. That's where we're at.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Exactly. So what is this one again?
So we're coming to the close of season 6.
Season 6, right.
Right.
Did we mess up the math again? Someone help us.
Whatever.
Somewhere in there.
We're keeping count. I'll probably put it in post.
Yeah. All we know is Conrad is the current points leader for last season, whatever the last number was.
The current season. We'll say the current
season. There we go. As of 2025, the first season.
The current King of the North, current Royalty of the North is the current points leader.
Correct.
So if he wins the Invitational on April 26th,
we're done.
He will be a 2-time king.
In both ways, in winning Invitational and winning the best of 5, and then also points leader and then win the Invitational.
That would also be very impressive because
he did all 4.
He's now qualified for the finals match, like the Royalty of the North match, both ways.
Yes.
Because last season, to play against Adam, he qualified through winning the Invitational.
Correct.
And now he's going to be in the Royalty of the North match just for being the points
leader. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I hope this is not a running theme. So let's say, for example, I think Josh Kronk is in second.
I believe he's second.
So if Josh Kronk beats... Yeah, so if Josh Kronk beats Conrad, the pattern goes that Josh will need to win the Invitational.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes.
To qualify to beat Conrad.
Yes.
So Josh will need to win the one in April 26th to beat Conrad. And then in the next season, so season 7, Josh will need to be the points leader. That's how the pattern is so far.
So I remember it was Connery and Adam were tied in the previous season?
I don't know. So again, Path of Exile took over my life. There was a good, from basically October to. There's a lot of other stuff. It wasn't just Path of Exile.
Okay, give us 30-second breakdown of Path of Exile and how it.
It wasn't just
30
Path of Exile.
seconds.
It was so from September, basically from like. So the last video that was uploaded, unfortunately, was in August. So from like August to the like beginning of mid to October, I was basically fighting for my job. So I had to focus a lot on my career,
Your life,
my daily life.
Yeah.
So that was like a really good 3 months. And then from like October to November, I was just settling into my position and just basically focusing my career and focusing on all of that. And then EW was like a nice break. So we went to EW end of November.
Yep.
So then once EW hit, we came back in December, and then it was holiday season. And then, so that was a really nice break too. There was no matches going on. There was no Legacy of the North. Things weren't really running because everyone's doing holiday stuff. So that was a nice break. And then end of December, beginning of January hit. So I work for University of Toronto. So we get 2 weeks off for the winter break. And my friend from Texas visited during that winter break. And right before the first week of January, so I still have that week off, he was leaving and he was like, hey, we're all playing Path of Exile. I think you'd really like it as someone who really enjoyed Diablo 3. So I was like, if you give me this game, it's going to ruin my life. I'm just going to wait for it to go free. So he goes, okay. And then he flies home back to Texas and gifts it to me on Steam. So I was like, you know what, I'll try it out. And I proceeded to lose the next 3 days of my life.
Oh my goodness.
I did not eat. I did not sleep. I did not shower.
Oh, bad.
I watched the entire director's cut versions of the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, all of the Harry Potter movies. I watched the entire Star Wars. What is beyond the saga? There's like the prequels, the original, and the sequels.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you also watch like Mandalorian and like Rogue One?
I didn't watch all that stuff, but I watched all the full
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I watched
9?
them from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Without sleeping. It was all the way through. And I watched like some TV shows. I was just watching video. All I was doing was playing Path of Exile or Path of Exile.
Isn't it Path of Exile like the magic card? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Path of Exile, yes, it ruined your life.
I think that's why I do say Path of Exile.
Path of Exile, yeah. That's why I say it. That's why whenever I hear you talking
about
it,
it was really bad. I was very heavily addicted. Like it was unhealthily bad. Like it got so bad that it was impacting my work. So there was days where I would go to work really, really early so I can go home really, really early and just play.
Just play more Path of Exile.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the beginning of January, and then time went on, and I just kept playing and playing and playing and playing and playing and playing until April hit.
And here we are.
Yeah. I guess there was a couple weeks of March. It was March, and then there was just a couple times. It was also like, there's no... I was actually also... I guess this is where a good place to transition from my addiction to Magic is like, Magic used to be like really like a really, really big hobby of mine. Like it was like one of my main hobbies. It was like the only thing I would do, the only thing I would think about. And when I started doing all the videos, a lot of people warned me to not burn myself out, which I ended up doing. But another thing was, when they started doing all of the universes beyond and focusing on Commander, and there was a statement that it still holds to this day that pisses me off. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. It extremely dissatisfies.
Grinds your gears?
It grinds. Don't say that.
Okay.
Because the company that makes Path of Exile is grinding.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay.
It's GGG. Don't
Oh,
everything wraps around. Okay, anyway. Yeah, the thing that really sticks with me is that statement that they made that they're like, if the product isn't for you, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm under the firm belief that like, why do you say this to your community? Like if your game is so beloved and people not like, they don't love it for the IP. they love it because the game system is good. I believe that to my core. Like, Magic as a game system is phenomenal. And that's why you can so easily bring in so many different genres, so many different universes. Like, you can have all these crossovers, and you can import them into the game system Magic, and it still works almost flawlessly, right? And to have this company that makes my favorite game say that we don't really, we're going to make products, but they're not for you anymore. It's kind of disheartening. So I found that really irking, and I started to find myself just not paying attention to Magic anymore. Like, I didn't really care about standard sets, because now, like, with modern sets and Modern Horizons, and then printing straight to like certain formats, it was like, well, I don't really need to keep up with this anymore if they're telling me not to keep up with it anymore, right? And so I kind of it caused a disconnect. And that, on top of the staleness of Legacy that we've been going through for the last half a year.
Yep, at least 6 months now.
3/4 of a year.
Yep.
Right? They didn't listen for Grief. They didn't listen for
Psychic Frog?
Psychic Frog. They didn't listen for Nadu. I mean, that's like not an argument anymore, really. But like, they just kind of take this lackadaisical like perspective.
I like that word.
And it, like, I know I'm lazy MTG. We're lazy MTG, I guess, at this point. But like, when that happens, it's kind of so like, if you don't care, like, as a company, if you don't care as much, then why should we care as much?
Yeah.
Right. And that kind of like played a really, really big role in me falling off. It was like, I didn't want to produce commentary, and it's why I wanted Dave to take this approach with this video. Is like, we're gonna have games running in the background of the 5K, but we're not directly going to be providing commentary directly for it. At least not for this one. We might in the future. We need to know your feedback as we like start doing this again. But yeah, it's like, I don't want to produce commentary where I'm bored, because if I'm bored, you're gonna also be bored. Like, it's gonna reflect poorly on like me as a content creator and you as a content consumer, and that sucks too. And if I'm going to be putting stuff out like that, then why put it out at all, right? If I'm going to be unhappy and you're not going to like it, there's no point. So unfortunately, it kind of resulted in this big gap. Yeah, now that I have had a break, and I'm kind of waning off of the newest patch of Path of Exile, I'm back to making some content, because I will say I had another friend of mine. He came over with his girlfriend, and he wanted me to try this card game called Here to Slay. It's like a really fun, really casual, like RPG action card game. I don't know how to describe it, but
Here to Slay, okay.
it was like purely card game, because I played board games while I was taking a break, but like, this was purely a card game, and I was like playing with it, and my god, it felt so good to hand shuffle.
Yeah, you're shuffling cards.
I had not hand shuffled in like 3 months.
3, 4, okay.
3 months at that point.
Okay.
And hand shuffling, my god, it was so good.
I mean, again, I don't want to say anything,
it.
but even when I'm playing Catan, I shuffle my resources, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my brothers cannot
know?
play board games
Yeah.
with me, because I
Yeah.
can't stop. I have to like, I fidget.
Yep.
So
You started hand shuffling, and it went, oh,
yeah,
Magic?
I was like, hey, do you guys want to play Commander? And they're like, no, we gotta go, and they left. And then
then you're like, then your hands are like, okay, well, I want to play cards again. What do I do?
not immediately. Immediately, I was like, oh, they're gone. I get to go play Path of Exile.
Okay, well, in the end,
This goes to show.
Okay, go ahead.
If Wizards actually committed resources to that video game that they were making, they were making a top-down isometric like game, like an RPG that was like Magic in the Magic universe.
Okay.
But it was really it was like dog. It was so bad. They I don't know. They're so obsessed with like Magic is a card game, so we have to use card systems in it. That's not true. You have an IP, utilize your characters and put them into different settings. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right? Just call it Deck Master or something.
Instead of Magic the Gathering or whatever. Deck builders or what's called.
I'm telling you, if they did a good job, this Path of Exile craze that I'm going through could have been for them.
Would you have been playing as Jason, Gideon, and Liliana, like that kind of thing? You mean?
I think this is like that, like F, marry, kill. It's like, I'd F Liliana, I'd marry. Who would I marry?
Chandra, Vraska. You gotta marry Vraska. No, I'm kidding.
Elspeth.
Okay.
Marry Elspeth.
Okay.
Kill all of the other white planeswalkers because I hate them all.
So like Gideon, Ajani.
I hate Ajani. I hate what's his name? I don't know.
Oh man, there's another white planeswalker.
I don't know any of them. I don't care. All of them suck. The Wanderer, I don't care.
Oh, Wandering Emperor. It's a good card.
Yeah, Wandering
Emperor. Good
card. I would kill them all.
Teferi?
No, I definitely hate Teferi. That's not because of the color scheme.
That's just because
I hate Teferi because of the three mana planeswalker.
The 3 fairy.
He should not have existed in the first place.
No, Narset, Teferi.
I'd marry Narset.
Ooh, okay. Which one? The Transcend or Parter of Veils, or the other whatever it's called?
She fulfills my Stacks heart.
Interesting. Or your Stacks heart. Why? Because the can draw more than one card. Okay.
Yeah. She also impulses.
Yep, great. It's true.
Also, did you see the?
There's a new impulse creature, but go ahead.
You see the? This is another thing I have to pick. I wonder if Wizards of the Coast employees ever watch this. Probably not because I'm so small. But why does Japan always get the best promos and we can't get them here in North America?
Which promo are you talking about?
So I'm not talking about promos specifically, like cards.
Okay.
Like they do get nice Japanese alternate art cards, and I'm jealous of them. But there's this. Have you heard of the viewing blossoms event? It's right now it's like cherry blossom blooming season.
Okay, yes, like
there's there's a special event going on, and it's so gacha. It's so.
How would they get you?
Is that a play on words, or do you just not know?
No, both. No, both. Okay.
It's
no. How did they get you?
So there's three. You can win 3 playmats.
Okay, but this is playing what, any format or certain?
So you have to buy 2 collector boosters of like standard sets.
Okay.
If you buy 2 collector boosters, they give you a random sticker. So these stickers, there's like I think like 30 or 40 of these stickers.
Jeez.
But then there's like 12 special stickers that win you prizes.
Okay.
So if you get one of those special stickers, you redeem them on the spot, and they give you the corresponding prize.
Okay.
So there's these 3 special stickers that give you playmats. And it's like of this. There's like a really nice artwork with Narset and the Emperor, and they're having tea under the cherry blossoms. It's freaking adorable. I love it. It speaks to the weeb in me.
Yeah, the weeb.
And so the 3 mats there's the full spread of both of them together.
Okay.
Then there's one where it's a close-up of the Narset, and there's one where it's a close-up of the Emperor.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it's impossible to get them because it's gacha. You have to like basically lottery it.
Yeah, by buying 2 collector booster boxes, getting a sticker.
Yeah, and you're not even guaranteed
that the sticker even gets you something.
So a lot of people are like, if you the chibi stickers are kind of cute. They're like whatever, but I was really hoping you could just go and buy the mat because my brother's in Japan right now. And I've just been like, hey, stop by one of these stores and
do it.
Buy me the mat, and I'll pay you back.
But he went in and tried to find them.
Well, everything. I did all the research because I know him very well. He would have asked me which store do I go to, and I'll see if I can go. Because if I tell him exactly where to go and how to get it, he'll go and do it. But if I say, hey, can you go and gacha this and tell me how much I owe you after that, not gonna fly.
Yeah. Oh, spend a couple hundred yen, or however much to collect your booster boxes.
So I saw someone on like Facebook Marketplace selling, I think it was the Emperor one. It was just the one of the close-up of the Emperor. Mm-hmm. And I think they're asking for like 400.
Woo!
So...
Wow.
Yeah, so how come we don't get...
cool promos like that, or cool gotcha type things?
Like, I gotta... It's weird.
I mean, they would make a...
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a Canadian. But, like, if it was like, oh, it's by a Canadian artist, I'm like... But it doesn't look anime. I want it to look anime.
Hence why... So, are they Japanese artists that drew them?
I
Or
don't know.
Asian? Oh, okay, I don't know. Okay.
I have no idea who the artist is. That's Anime AF. I want it.
And, okay, well, only way to do it is probably wait till eBay has them or something like that. At this
I'm
point.
definitely not doing that.
You know?
I've got enough playmats. I think the only at this point the only like playmats I'm really collecting are like Eternal Weekend mats.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
And even then, I'm still
Even
missing
then,
the
I
Wasteland.
mean, lucky I got rid of the frog one. Oh, the wasteland would have been nice. Yeah, wasteland is a pretty nice one, but it's we'll have to see what happens this year. Let's see what mats they got this year, right? You know, so a little bit of a cycle back to the beginning while he takes a little break there. I know we were briefly talking about. Well, actually, rephrase that. You said we're gonna watch some games here in the background while we're doing our thing here.
Well,
but
we are not going to watch games. I'll throw it
yes, somewhere over here.
somewhere.
What was I gonna say? The band. I know the band, like the band announcement, the band, this, that, and the other thing, which was about a week and a half ago, if not 2 weeks ago now at this point. What was I gonna say? Because you haven't been playing.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the metagame.
Yeah. So, of course, Blue Black Reanimator. Of course, we got, Eldrazi was a hot contender. Nadu was hanging around. Oops All Spells online, especially online. So yeah, that's the beauty of playing in paper and playing online, or like seeing the online meta, is there was a couple crazy combo decks at the 5K that came up, right? Lots of blue black, lots of some Eldrazi, some Nadu, some Oops, this, that, and the other thing. But when it comes to paper versus online, especially in the GTA at least, we're not too crazy on playing combo, it feels like. We want to play interactive Magic, or there's more players playing more interactive, longer game Magic.
So is that
right?
Actually true? Because coming from Modern, like 10 years ago, Toronto was crawling with like everyone was playing Splinter Twin, like literally everyone.
I think, but again, in Modern that was a turn 4 combo deck.
Yeah.
Whereas in Legacy, I think people still would rather play a longer game. When I say longer, I still
But
mean
what
like,
I mean is like I think like Toronto people still love combos.
yeah, right? But again, I'm trying to think of people other than me, right? At the 5K, especially because again, 107 people. That's a pretty diverse room of people. I would say maybe again, I'm not considering like the blue black Reanimator deck like a non-combo deck. I'm thinking of it as a combo deck. So sure, it was very heavily prevalent in the room.
Okay,
right.
So then I think we clarify what we mean by combo, because in Legacy I think everything has a combo.
True. I was gonna say that too. I mean, like
because it's just the most effective way to kill.
Yeah, fair enough.
And they have the powerful cards to do it.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I would even say like a turn 1 Blood Moon is almost like a combo. I know it's not a combo, like a combination, but again, if you can turn 1 Blood Moon and then like, drop a Bombardier or I don't know, anything like that, like sure, it's stacksy, but it's also like you're doing all this stuff to have a crazy kill at the end, which is just like, unload your damage at your opponent. I know a combo is actually more like Oops All Spells or the Epic Storm or Nadu or something like that, right? But basically, it's either you're doing, I don't know, that room, it seemed to be more of like, there was a lot more control going on, even though, again, Michael Spawn was still in the room, Troll of Khazad-dûm, which, again, why it got banned.
So would you say that, I know you didn't have a lot of time to wander around and look at the decks. I didn't even have that much time. But would you say that it was like a balanced, like a fair meta share? Like metagame?
Yeah, I would say balanced.
Diverse?
Yes, diverse. I would say
diverse?
diverse. Yes, we had a bunch of everything. We had again. We got to see Jeskai Control.
Like was
in
it
the room.
okay? So I think top 8 results have been posted at this point.
Yes, they should be on MTG top 8.
There
Yes,
Merfolk.
there was. There was a Merfolk in the top 8. So think of that. That's very diverse. That's rogue as heck. I would say.
Yeah,
that's amazing to see Merfolk hit.
But
top
this is
8.
okay. So this also plays on the fact that like, yeah, you can pay attention to Moto and online meta and leagues and all that stuff, but it's like in paper you can do well with like people have to play with the cards that they have, right? Some people don't have all of this disposable income to buy. Like right now my goal even still is 40 under 40, right? I hope a lot of you guys,
especially if you're going white border, it's pretty easy. But nonetheless,
Yeah, pretty
easier than white blackboard. But go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. 40 under 40, just in general.
Yes.
Like if you can get any 40,
Sure.
especially in our economy.
That yeah, I can yeah.
Yeah, paying was it? I think it's like, is it $1,200 for a volcanic?
I was
island?
gonna say probably like a store retail.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's still my goal. I'm pretty close.
Good.
I think I'm only missing 6 or 7.
Dang.
And
pretty good.
Only one of them is blue. I need one chop.
One more chop.
Yeah.
You had the perfect opportunity. Somebody still has a waiting.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I know. We have new equipment that we're using right now.
Yeah, okay, so that's another thing is, now that we're coming back, there's some... After running the production from the 5K, there were some glaring points that needed to be upgraded, right? Like, especially when we're unfamiliar with the location, there's only so much that we can do for lighting. So I've just dipped a little bit into funds, and we're gonna update that. So yes, I think the Invitational will be much better.
Yeah.
How do we even get here?
We're talking about the equipment.
Yeah, if I'm buying equipment, I can't buy cards.
Yeah,
so
exactly, which is totally fair. That's why we want high quality production, right? So we're gonna give it to you. Don't worry. That's
we'll
part
do
of the
our
plan.
best.
That's part of the plan, at least, right?
I can tell you the video quality is quality, but the audio might not be.
Yes, we're again step by step. We're
that
working
sentence
on it.
is evident.
There you go. Exactly right. Grammar is not my forte either, right? So there you go.
Yeah, English only pendejo.
Oh, jeez. So meta again, legacies, paper especially. I don't know. That's just what I've noticed. The GTA is very diverse. We have our pet decks. People play some. We have seen people play obscure decks that aren't usually what we see them play, which is totally fair. Again, they want to spike or figure out how to mess around with the meta a little bit, which is no problem. But I think we're at a very, people said that we were unhealthy, but we were at a healthy. What's the word I'm looking for? At a controlled, healthy meta game where Nadu was still a sickening thing to play against, but it was controllable. Blueback Reanimator was a sickening thing to play against, but it was controllable. When I say controllable, it's not the greatest thing that we're main decking 2 Nal Spellbombs in our blue-black tempo decks.
Okay. I think I have a good analogy.
Go ahead. What's your analogy on this?
We're beyond meat. It's beyond legacy. So you can have meat, but they're veggies. It's all vegetables. It's all but it's meat. It substitutes meat though. So it's protein.
What are the veggies in this case? Like main decking Nal Spellbombs and stuff like that?
Well, no, it's like you're still playing. It's not I would say, as someone
give it to us.
As someone who is a avid protein consumer, red meat consumer.
Yes.
I love bacon. I love steak. I can't. If you're disgusted by me, okay, sure, go kick rocks.
Steak, bacon, give it to me.
But yeah, if that is Delver, that is land.
So you're saying that's the meat and potatoes of the format you're trying to say?
It is.
Or is it just the meat of the format?
It is the epitome of deliciousness.
Okay. Sorry, what were decks again?
Delver, lands, I don't know. What else was
Jeskai Control or something?
Jeskai Control,
okay.
Stoneblade, Stifle Knot. Anything that anywhere where all these decks were kind of viable, that was kind of yum, delicious.
Sultai of some sort. But
yeah, but now we're in a place where it's well, okay, the red meat might not be that good for you, so we need to find some substitutes, and we're moving on from treating animals this way.
I
so
see where you're
we
going
need
with
to
this.
offer something else. So with us, check out this vegetable protein. Check out this vegetable substitute. This vegan friendly. Vegan friendly is Nadu. Nadu's vegan
gluten free. So what would be the gluten free deck?
gluten-free deck is Oops All Spells.
Oh god. Okay. Oh jeez. It's cardboard. It's literal cardboard. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. What is cephalid breakfast or like Nadu
No,
breakfast? Nadu. Nadu
so
breakfast.
Cephalid breakfast is like.
Sorry, that's right. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. What would it be?
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
It's like.
I mean, they say breakfast.
So
is the most important
cephalid
meal.
breakfast is like a baconator,
Okay.
and
I
then
like that.
Nadu breakfast.
Oh, is a Beyond Meat
is a
baconator
Beyond Meat,
with the bacon also being
but
Beyond?
the bacon is like you substitute it for tomatoes.
I mean, I don't want to say anything, but have you had a baconator with lettuce, tomato, and onion and pickles on it?
Not all of it, but
Okay.
I've had it with lettuce because I know
Okay.
like the baconator, you need some greens.
Yeah.
in it.
Okay. I'm just checking.
Like,
Because
but like no, specifically, I don't like tomatoes. So
Okay.
I specifically,
I see.
whatever vegetable you don't like, you substitute like carrots.
Oh.
You would never put like carrots into a burger, so you substitute the bacon for a carrot, and that's Nadu breakfast.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
like
fair.
like what I mean is like it's still legacy, but it's not the legacy that everybody is like they want.
Yeah, I got you.
Do you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone always is like.
It's meat, but it's not real meat.
Like there again, like I'm gonna say like there's obviously like clear decks that shouldn't come back. Like when Ren and 6 was in like I say Delver, I don't mean Ren and 6 Delver, right?
Okay.
I like Punishing Jund. Everyone loves
Yes.
Punishing Jund. That was like golden age. Now when we
Yes.
play Jund now, it's like what's the closest Jund deck that we've had?
Bug.
That's not Jund.
You can't even play Jund, to be honest. Grixis maybe, but you can't. Not even that.
Okay, so the closest thing to Jund
Yeah.
is like Helm combo.
Nah, I wouldn't even say that. Okay, mono black aggro, mono black mid range,
Like mono black Stompy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially, right? You know, Dothy Voidwalkers, Nethergoyfs,
And then like
Stalkers.
oh, do you know what vegan legacy is?
Modern.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Vegan legacy is mono white initiative legacy.
Oh,
That's the exact.
That's
That's the
vegan?
response. See,
That's the
yeah.
mono white initiative.
Mono white
with
initiative.
white plume when it was
Yes,
legal.
with
Okay.
white plume when it was
okay.
when
okay.
it was legal.
Okay.
Because then like that's vegan, and then vegetarian is like when red white was like
okay.
the peak deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I
See,
got
there's
you.
different levels. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right.
Yeah.
So,
So-
again, you haven't been playing.
Yes, I haven't been playing.
What's your coming back? Well, not coming back into it, but like, what's your view? What would you play right now without just
Lands.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was gonna say like just if you were to
But I've
walk right
heard that
back
it's
in.
really bad.
I mean, I think the main reason why is because again, there's all, especially online, all these turn one combo decks. Oops, not.
But that okay, so that's another thing. Is like we don't. This is something that we're maybe looking to change, but we don't play very much online.
No.
Right. So I don't experience this. If I were to experience it, I probably just wouldn't want to play anymore.
Fair. Yeah, well, that's why. When it comes to what I've heard, leagues and challenges, like Oops is topping, for goodness sake. Like if Oops is topping, like what are we doing, right? What's the format right
Like,
now, right?
so don't get me wrong. Again, it's like I don't really consume Magic content, right? So I don't know to the extent that Oops is dominating, but hearing that Oops All Spells is really, really good makes a part of me happy, right? Because it's always been a budget-friendly deck.
Yeah,
Is it still
yeah.
a budget-friendly deck, or
I would
has its domination come from something expensive?
Top of my head, I can't think of the expensive cards. I know they even probably cut blue a little bit more and play green for like Force of Vigor in the board. Sometimes they have Belcher in the board. Sometimes
Okay,
they
so
have
it's not like they
Voidwalkers.
printed some $50 card and
No.
they're playing it, right?
No.
So is it still like an under $500 deck?
Yeah, I would say pretty close. Well, again, a little more because cards are a little more expensive. But nonetheless, I mean, yeah, I would say it's relatively priced. The only thing that might be the most expensive would be if you play the LED package in the board, which you don't even have to, like for the Belcher plan,
Yeah.
right? Other than that, top of my head, I can't think of anything that would make the deck super expensive.
So yeah, so something like that actually makes me happy. Now, do I want 1,000 Oops players in Toronto? Well, hell no. Like, I do not want that, right? But like, if I get to one or two people to build a legacy deck that were in Modern, they come and play Legacy and they start winning store credit and they buy a dual land and then evolve into a deck that takes brain cells, then sure, I'm all for it.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Again, it's true. Again, I would say
I say that, but I have no idea how to pilot Oopsal.
no, but I would, and that's what I was going to say too. Is so this current iteration, it's not as It's still glass cannony, but you have to have a bit of. You have to think about what what you have to do, what your opponent has, what interactions they have for you, right?
I guess it's changed a lot because the Oops that I know literally has one land. But now they're playing the dual face.
Correct.
So they actually have
NBFCs.
lands and they can actually play real Magic.
Yep.
Okay, so I take back my no brain cells comment.
Yes, I agree with the prior, but now because of the way it's built and structured, the deck is not as.
Okay, so you need 2 brain cells.
Yeah, I would say at least 2. Yeah, right. Your eyes, at least, right? Be able to see what's happening too.
Well, you need one
because you can't close your eyes and play.
You
the
need
deck
one
too,
brain cell
right?
to do one game plan, and then another brain cell to pivot. So I have 3 brain cells because you need to know how to sideboard.
Yes, how to sideboard exactly. Like, what's your
so you
opponent
need
gonna do?
it's a 3 brain cell deck.
Yes, and again, there's so many different builds of how it can be played now, right? So, but again, it's like playing Turbo Necro, and I'll say like that deck is bonkers too. It's still bonkers to this day. It just does its thing to variance, right? So any kind of like but I've also heard the complaint that the format is just so fast right now that it isn't fun to play. Right, so if you're exactly like you said, if everyone was playing Oops all spells and always turn 1 combo decks, then everybody's just going to be ships passing in the night kind of thing, and it's just go.
So it kind of plays more into the role of everyone's perception of Legacy.
Yes,
where before it wasn't exactly true. Everyone assumed that Legacy, because they had access to all these like turn 1, turn 2 combos, or two card combos, that every deck would play them, but in reality, in actuality, it wasn't the case. It would just be specific decks running those, where if you disrupted them, it would stop them. But a lot of the decks were not that way. They would be interactive. And it would lead to actually longer games than like Modern.
Yep.
Because in Modern, it's like, if you get to a point where like, I guess, like depending on the it like really heavily relied on that like trinity, right? Of like combo beats aggro beats whatever. Like I don't even remember what it is.
I think tempo/aggro beats combo, control beats aggro, and then combo beats control early on. I think some combination.
It like relied really heavily on that, and then if one thing did its thing so well, there would be like no way for that deck to come back. Whereas in Legacy, it was like, yes, decks had pronounced like pros and cons, but because they had access to these 1 to 2 card combos that do really powerful things, there was that ability to be like, okay, in an instant, like from a single top deck, we can get back into the game. Right? So I think that's where the misperception was. But now what you're describing, it sounds like what everyone perceived Legacy to be is now true. Basically what I mean is like if you ask someone 7 years ago what they think Legacy was, it'd be like, oh, they can just storm off. I think that would be like, oh, they can reanimate a big thing and they just win on turn 2, right? I think that would be like, from an outsider's perspective, that's what a lot of people would say.
Or show and tell, because that's becoming up. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, but you can play Emrakul on turn 1. You can just swing the game on turn 2 and you win. That's what a lot of people would assume, but that wasn't the majority of the time. That wasn't the case. Whereas now, it seems like that is the case, where things are just winning on turn 1, turn 2.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, I would. Well, they're attempting to. And because everyone is playing, either not playing enough, or they have to keep a hand with Force of Will, that if they don't keep a hand with Force of Will, they're just going to lose, 100%, yes, right? But then also, like, even like back in the day, I think the same thing is happening now, where if you do have a hand with Force of Will, and you're able to stop that initial craziness from happening, then those turns go on longer than they should, right? But now, these combo decks are more resilient, they have more resiliency to recover from being forcible for that first instance, let's say, that they can win on turn 3, let's say now. And still they do the exact same thing can happen again on turn 3. right?
I see.
Right. So there's more resiliency in the packages now, it seems, right? So yeah, because Oops is so resilient. I mean, like the blue back Grammar deck has just been solid. It seems like for quite some months now, even though it's gone through its bans, as they say, it's losing some cards, but it's still strong. Nadu, as we said. I mean, again, there's always the older combo decks like Painter, which can still do a turn 2 kill as quite possibly, right? They can go like turn 1 Grindstone, turn 2 Painter, possibly activate if they get the right colors and combinations. But again, there's more
I think
resiliency.
it's the reverse, right? You play Painter turn 1, turn 2 you Grindstone mill.
Well, you need 4 mana that turn. So yeah, if you have 2,
because that's the turn 2 line, right? Is turn 1 you Ancient Tomb Painter.
Yes, exactly.
And then turn 2 it does
another
play
soul
another
land, right?
Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, exactly.
And you go grind like
Yeah,
Grindstone active.
that'd be the kill on turn 2 there. Yeah, exactly. But now there's just so many cards in the pool that every combo deck is more resilient at doing stuff post being stopped by a Forcible. So there's always the force check, right, with that famous line. But now it's not really. It's the deck's just turn 3. They'll do the same thing again and just get you there, right? So
Yeah.
right. So
So this is like. So this is another thing that kind of plays into like commentating Legacy. Like it's very dichotomous where having these like, oh my god, is it gonna kill like moments is really exciting, right? But then on the other side it's like, well, games end so quickly and everything is kind of the same. Like their games
Yep.
are almost homogenized.
Yep. I was gonna
Like
just gonna
those
say
are
that.
they're two very like there's like pros and cons to having this kind of combo heavy like gameplay and doing commentary on it. I guess this goes back to, I think the Eternal Glory podcast mentioned this a couple times. I haven't really listened to their stuff since I've been out of it. But they mentioned like they follow the same. Sorry, they brought this up with the Psychic Frog thing, right? Where they follow the same like ban pattern as the other formats for Legacy. And it's like, okay, so they make a decision on ban day. Whatever decisions they make, the next 3 to 4 months, there will be no changes, right? So if they've set it up so we're in this really heavy combo metagame, that means for 3 to 4 months, if we're doing commentary on it, it's 3 to 4 months of the same
Just combo all
garbage,
over again.
all like over and over and over again.
Yep, very true.
It's like, well, is this even wanted at that point? Like, it's just going to be us saying, look, we've seen it again.
That's historical.
Who
Go
can
for
get
the
there
win.
first? Who
Nadu.
can stop it? Right? Obviously, it's on the commentator's job to, make it more interesting, but there's only so much that they could do, right? It's like you give a construction worker a fucking hammer. Sorry, excuse my language. You give them a hammer, see what they can do. You give them a drill bits, plaster. You give them a bunch of tools. Watch them build a house. Like, what are they going to do with just a hammer? I'm sure that. Sorry, a hammer's probably not a good thing because it's so versatile. I should say you give them like a paintbrush. What's he going to do? You give them a paintbrush and a hammer. Let's see what he can do. I guess I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the point where it's like
I get
if
it.
they pigeonhole you as just like, here is the best deck, best archetype. People are just going to play it, right? Especially if it's a league, they want to go infinite. Especially if they want to just win, if that's their main priority, then that's fine, right? But from a production kind of point of view, it's like, well, you have to come up with something else. And unfortunately, because of like our personal situations, right? Like I'm no longer close to you guys and like my primary crew. I can't just call up someone on like the weekend and say, hey, we want to play a bunch of Legacy games with the gauntlet that we have and record some stuff, right? It's not that easy, especially with us being adults now.
Life.
Yeah. If there's any
Path of
teenagers
exile.
watching this, like,
Stay young.
I did not realize adulting, when people were like, yeah, it's just adult stuff, take that seriously.
Yeah.
Take advantage of your freedom now.
I agree.
Because you may be free, like me spending all my time playing Path of Exile, but if you're someone like Dave who's in a committed relationship, actually has responsibilities, and like doing stuff and has plans, I can't just be like, hey Dave, it's Thursday, you want to meet up and do some YouTube videos? He can't just be like, yeah. He's got to be like, I got to check, man.
I'm here today, though. Let's go. Right. So, but I agree. Again,
right?
Stay young.
So,
life gets in the way.
Yeah.
That's basically like what.
That's
what it is,
basically
right?
a nutshell of the production stuff.
Yeah.
So,
as we're weaving in and out of topics, which I love.
yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So new equipment, new mindset. Right? Do we have a new mindset? Are we still on the same mindset there, Ben?
Yes. Oh no. Yes. New plan. We're still in the works, but I think to avoid burning myself out, I will be focusing more on the Legacy of the North partnership events.
Ah, okay.
So,
tell us more.
like what brought me back in, as Dave mentioned before or earlier, is the 5K that we did in March. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I was asked to come in to provide some assistance, and I was like, okay, yes, you guys asked me, and I will do it, right? So we got there, got through it,
Yep. What a day.
and I think I'm not gonna toot my own horn.
No, I think it was a success. Again, from going back from we haven't done a whole lot in a little bit to going boom, 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 full-fledged powerhouse, right? You know, I think it was pretty good. It was pretty good for what we did.
I'm a little disappointed,
Okay.
but that's me being a professional.
know,
Like I would have
yes.
loved to have round one.
Yes, that too. I know.
I would have loved to not have green screen showing on stream.
Yeah.
I would love to have people's names spelled correctly as I'm looking at this card here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure nonetheless, I'm pretty sure that's how he said to spell his name, but all good.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember though, but we'll double check at some point. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I would love to have everything perfect.
Yeah, I hear
As
you.
a perfectionist, I would love to have things perfect. But, you know, everyone says it went well, and, you know, I'll take their word for it.
Again, any kind of content that is showing the community, the legacy players of Ontario, GTA, wherever we all came from, north, south, east, west, right?
Yeah.
Even some U.S. People came over as well too, which was great. So at least we,
Yeah, people came all the way from Columbus.
Oh, I know it went that far.
There was a couple people. I think James said some people came from like Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
Some people came from like, was it Thunder Bay or North Bay? I don't remember.
Yeah, well, that's our side. Yeah, one of the Sudbury somewhere up there. Adam Robinson's
all
crew.
the way. They come all the way from up north,
Yep.
all the way down, and yeah, it was.
We had the Rochester Royals there as well too. I'm not sure. If
Yeah,
you saw
I
them.
really did my best to get them on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there was some administrative errors.
all good. Now we know.
But okay, if you are Rochester Royals, please come and introduce yourselves to me so I can get you guys on camera. I would love.
And make sure you're wearing those jerseys.
Yes, please bring those gorgeous jerseys. They're
Purple and yellow.
I love them.
Ooh, I know.
I was actually looking for them during the event, but I don't think you guys were wearing one. I only recognized one person from like by face.
Well, Chris McCready was there, and
I don't know people's names.
I'm sorry I don't know the Test player, but I know you were there as well too because you were playing Test, and I was like, oh my god, Test is in the room, let's go.
Then you got to point them out. Oh, you can't point them out to me because I'm supposed to be pointing them out to you.
True.
You're behind the booth.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah. So if you're a Rochester Royal, please, during these big events, come and say hi, and I will do my best to get you up there. It's better to do the earlier round, so the earlier you introduce yourself, the better, because then it doesn't matter what your record is. We can just slot you in no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Oh, wait, I just want to say, sorry. The jerseys remind me of the Saints Row video game because it's like the purple and yellow. I can't remember what.
I always think of the Sacramento Kings.
Okay, that works too. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I can't remember what clan or what gang or whatever the hell hex is.
No gangs.
And no, I know, but in whatever thing he's from the game, nonetheless, it's just cool. I like the purple and yellow.
I'm a big fan of purple.
Wait, sub note: are we getting jerseys, Ben?
No.
Okay, well, are we doing shirts? What are we doing? Think about it. You don't have to answer now. It's okay. But I know that spoiler alert. Something's coming.
That's
yeah. Spoiler alert. That's all I gotta say.
no.
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
gonna. That's only for you.
Oh, for me.
It was only for you for EW.
Oh, okay. I see what you.
Well, like it was for like. It was for like our car, but then you decided to go into a different car.
Because I
wanted to get one for like me, you, Jeffrey.
Oh,
Steven,
right, I remember
John,
now. Yes,
Brodak.
the personalized caricature situation, right?
Well, I wanted to get a personalized caricature of you because you work a lot with me.
Fair.
And you're basically like a catalyst for me to feed my
ideas into.
Yes, my creativity through.
Yes.
And you're the one who says go do it.
Well, I mean, somebody has to.
Yeah, and that's what I want. That's what I appreciate.
That's it.
Right? So without you, this video would not exist without you.
Oh, okay? See, there you go.
And that's why you need your own bald caricature.
Wow, yeah. I mean, hey, I'm curious to see what you can design because you have one for LazyMTG or whoever designs that particular one from last time.
So maybe I get Snug the Amazing to do it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Snug the Amazing.
So
yeah.
We'll.
That's a good idea.
You guys can reference the VOD. I'm gonna be reposting an updated, edited version of the VOD to cut out all the dead time, so you guys can go watch the Legacy 5K.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning, we have 8th place Dave there.
Yes.
And Snug the Amazing.
That's fair. That's why. So let's talk about the current. We have new Legacy format. Legacy of the North Invitationals up and coming. ETB Legacy of the North, the partnership continues. We love it. Let's keep going. The ban list, new meta, I said that already. What else we got? New equipment. I'm so happy with the equipment. Like I'm looking at this right now. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm oohing and ogling. I'm such a nerd for gear, you know what I mean? And so I know you are too.
Yeah.
Right? You know, so
I would actually I find more enjoyment nowadays just like setting up my equipment and watching people play under stream than actually like playing.
Yes.
I feel really bad because so many people saw me at the event, right, at the Legacy 5K in Oakville, and I hadn't seen them in a long time because I just haven't been doing anything.
3+ months depending.
And I don't know why people were so shocked when they're like, "Oh my god, Ben, are you playing?" And my immediate answer was no.
You're like, no, I don't want to play this game.
I'm running around with my iPad trying to plan a ton of stuff. And like, are you playing this event? I'm like, no. Like
you were nerding out doing all the production.
And like, I don't know. I find it funny how people are still surprised that that's like probably my answer to that question.
Just no, I'm not going to play.
Like, are you going to play? Just like, no.
Well, I mean, we know another person that's done the same thing, right? They had a nice career in playing Magic. They took a little time, and then they wanted to continue their love of Magic, so they ended up being production managers and production coordinators, right? You know what I mean? So, Honorog does.
I mean, no, but he still streams.
Well, that's what I mean. But again, like he's not like back in the day, he'd be playing on the SCG tours and playing at the
okay, so he's not like a grinder. Right?
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But he's still.
Yes, he still
plays in big events, like big tournaments.
Oh, okay. I
don't know if he plays the in-person ones.
I thought he was doing more of the NRG and all that kind of stuff. So he was being more the production.
I think he would run production, but like all of the big like MTGO events, he will still compete.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Because that's his stream content.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Makes sense.
And I'm pretty sure if he's like gets invited to like Pro Tour, I'm pretty sure he would.
Oh yeah,
because he's not doing production for that, right?
Yes, makes sense. Yes, that'd be.
I idolize Anzi.
Yep,
he's so cool.
Yeah, he's good. Again, lots of
his gear
insights.
Is so cool,
right? And the gear. I was going to say the insight into what gear, how to do it, when to do it,
Man,
how
I can't
to do
wait
it.
for EW 2025.
Ooh, I mean,
I want to go see if it's the same or if he's updated some stuff.
I'm excited for EW again. Last year was the first time when it was a blast. That's all I can say. So I'm really hoping
hope our dollar recovers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So any Americans watching us on this channel, help.
Do you want me to set up a Patreon?
Yeah. Please.
All of that will go into us going into EW.
Exactly. That'd be GoFundMe for EW 2025. Exactly right. Yeah. I mean.
So other than that, our favorite local has a new location.
Oh, are we talking about that? Okay.
I think we can talk about sneak previews. Like we're in very, very early works. So they used to also do their own I wouldn't say premium series like community like events, but they were called supercharged series, and
Tell me more.
basically it was essentially the prize structure is like they were supercharging the prize structure. So basically it would be like we'll use examples, this isn't exact, but if someone paid a $15 if someone paid a $20 entry fee, that $20 would go into the prize pool, and then they would add 10 store credit. So I think because of their new location, they have much more space, and we are in very, very early talks about running more production for them as well. So whether that, like, this might not just be limited to Magic, right? Like, if they're satisfied with how we run things, then we could be opening that up to Pokemon, Union Arena. Neopets is apparently really big for them. So we are looking into doing a little bit more there. And hopefully that means more content for everyone else. It means I get a little bit more freedom to hopefully run more events and just get more practice under my belts. I think that's the main thing that I'm looking for. Well, that's going to be exciting. When that happens, I don't know. We were talking earlier about potentially an introduction. So maybe we don't start off with like doing their supercharged series. They want to try to get that off the ground first with their new location and try to build their player base. Then we don't have to kind of publicize that in the beginning. Maybe we arrange for something as more of a debut style thing I don't think has been done in Magic.
What's this? Did I miss something?
It's the tournament style that I was talking about
right,
earlier.
yes.
I don't think there's been like a streamed or content event like that. I don't want to say that for sure, but I think it's kind of exciting.
I'm excited
because
for it.
It's like Magic. Don't get me wrong, Magic has a lot of formats, but within those formats, the different ways to play are very limited, right? So there's only so many ways you can play Legacy, right? Legacy, I think exhaustively, it's 1v1, unified team trios, and then format trios. Right?
Yep, like standard modern legacy or like legacy vintage modern.
You have your own individual format for each of your players. So I think those are like, and then there's like legacy cube, but that's not really constructed like format.
That's just fancy drafting.
Yeah. So the way the tournament style that I'm thinking of is completely different from those. So maybe we try to figure that out and we debut that.
Yes, we're going to keep in secret because I'm excited for this one.
That is
now members.
Like, I literally just thought about it when I woke up.
Which is
today.
That's the best time. It's either when you're taking a shower, first wake up, walk into work. So many different ways you can be thinking of stuff. You know what I mean? So
that's coming up down the pipeline. I guess to kind of wrap things up here. So there's going to be like, I think a couple games going to be playing behind us. I apologize that we didn't do any commentary over it. I did not feel comfortable doing commentary because I've just been so out of it, right? I'm sure Dave would have been ready to go, doing what he needs to do, doing whatever he wants to do.
But this is why we have the VOD. So at least if you want to go back, you can watch the VOD.
So the VOD is going to be posted by the time this video goes up.
Yep.
So I'm sure some of you guys will be excited to see that a video has been published onto the channel in forever.
So we have the Invitational April 26th for the season 7.
Sorry. Oh, the Invitational is to cap season 6.
Cap season 6.
And then season 7 will start in
May. Correct. Yes. There we go. Legacy is a great game. Great game. Cut that. Legacy is a great format. I hope everyone keeps playing it. The community is great. Again, seeing 107 people come out all the way across from north, south, east, and west of Ontario and even from the States was great. So yeah, I think we've basically covered a good chunk of everything that we want to talk about.
So if you guys want to see any of the games that we're playing behind us and you want to actually get commentary on that, you can check out the VOD. I'll probably put a card here, up there somewhere. I don't know where it's going to be.
Probably over here. Oh, this way. This is backwards. Ugh!
Yeah, that way. It's going to be over here. You can click on that.
Look up here.
Yeah, click on Dave's finger.
Click on my finger.
if you want to watch the
seconds.
VOD.
Okay, we're good.
So, yeah.
Cool. So we have our updates. Again, as Ben said initially, any comments, any qualms, what's the word? What could we, anything you want to see?
Comments in the comment section below are what helps. I think the last time I checked, we were at 530-ish viewers. So I still have that Phyrexia All Is One super special bundle edition ready to send to the raffle of the 600 subscribers.
Ooh, 600, that's it? Well, okay.
And then once we hit the 1,000, I still have the playset of Force of Wills to give out. So hopefully with the more consistent content release, we can hit that goal by the end of the year.
Sweet. That's it. Comment down below.
Like, comment, subscribe, and
ring that bell for notifications. Is that the one?
I hate
Is that the one?
it.
Oh, I didn't even know that's the right term.
Cringe.
Like, comment, subscribe. This is LazyMTG signing off for now. My name is David.
I'm Ben.
Have a good day. See you later.
Ben Sevens.
Ben Sevens. Right,
Ben
this
Sevens
way. Sorry,
in the
I'm
chat.
sorry. This way. 1, 2, 3, go.
You can't see my arm.
Yeah, it's cut off. See ya.